What's going on, fam? We live at the Bully House, man. Today we talking American Bully history, man. We wanted to go back a little bit. I know we've talked a lot the last week, 2 weeks about DNA, pit bulls, and American bullies. We had a lot of fun going back and forth. I had a lot of fun. I don't know if y'all had a lot of fun, but to me, it's a good debate. But just so that everybody knows what the debate is about, I want to give a little bit of history today about where the American Bully started and where it is now. And like if you've watched the channel, I know you've heard me say before that the American Bully was started in the 1980s, 1990s. There's several people in there, and they were just trying to make a bulkier pit bull, a bigger pit bull. They were doing show type dogs, and they want to take those show type dogs and make them bulkier. They already wasn't game. So we start with my favorite of that part is Notorious Juan Gotti, because if you look at Juan Gotti, you'll see that it's really a pit bull that's bulkier. And that's really, even though that's not the pit bulls, not the bullies that I'm trying to make at this time, that lets you know where the breed started from. So you got them. I like Denzel Terrell from Hall of Fame Bullies. You got the Bully Rank. You can go check him out. He got a whole lot on American Bully history, way more than what I have because he was there. So I definitely want to give props to him as one of the people that were there in the beginning. But then we get to Dave Wilson, and we have to, I kind of want to shoot this from the perspective of Dave Wilson, because he eventually ends up starting the ABKC, which is the registry for the American Bully Kennel Club. So we'll go at it from his angle, and he started in the 80s and 90s, breeding Staffordshire Terrier to pit bull, the show ones, not the game ones. He started with game dogs. He also started Razor's Edge, but he's known as the founder of the ABKC. But like I say, I don't think anybody can say he's the founder of the ABKC, but he's known as the founder of the American Bully, and I don't think anybody can take that full credit. But he's definitely one of the leaders in it. And he was trying to make a bulkier pit bull. He was breeding Staffordshire Terrier to pit bulls. The show ones, the ones that weren't game, he was making show ones. And he was advertising as putting the bull back in pit bull. And he was trying to make what eventually came to be known as bully, more bully. And that's from Staffordshire Terrier and American Pit Bull Terrier. Now, go look up Staffordshire Terrier and tell me where do you think the breed comes from? Because it actually comes from a dog that's extinct now, a white terrier mixed with a bulldog. That's where Staffordshire Terrier comes from. So you could say, I ain't gonna get into what you can say, but still and yet, Staffordshire Terrier and Pit Bull were still two different breeds. And they went together to start making this other breed with a more blocky head, more muscle, exaggerated features, more. It was about looks, a more muscular looking dog. So they got that going, and they started the registry. And it was we can get into why the reason and everything, but they started the registry, and you can tell how young a breed is if you go and look to see if they still have single registration. You need to have single registration in a registry for almost 100 years or so. So the mere fact that we still have single registration in American Bully Kennels lets you know that this is a very young breed still. And the criteria has gotten harder and harder over the years. Even the shows started out because we got, whenever you start to breeding in exaggerations, you can go too far. You're gonna go too far to get, if you trying to get this one main bull that's perfect, you dang near gotta go too far to get him out. So these over here is gonna be bad. These over here is gonna be bad. You're gonna have him. So that's what happens when you put in exaggerated features, and that's what they was doing to build this breed. So it's got to keep critiquing itself, keep coming along. So they kept getting stricter and stricter with the policies, but now Dave Wilson, ABKC, they are at a point where if they be any more stricter, they think they're going away from the breed standard, which was to make it more bully. The breed standard was to make it more exaggerated. So when they say that dog is unhealthy, we can't register him, that's kind of going against what they started as a breed standard. But I'm saying that shouldn't be, you can't call it a breed standard if it's unhealthy. You can't make an unhealthy breed. You cannot sit in a room, in an air-conditioned room, and plan this out and make an unhealthy breed standard and try to live by it. That ain't gonna work. So I kind of think that's where we're at as a American Bully Kennel. So you can't really fault anybody. All of the American Bully Kennel dog shows are sanctioned shows. That means I can throw the show. All of the breeders, all of the people that want to, I'm a breeder and I ain't doing any shows. So all the people that want to throw shows, you can throw it and the ABKC will sanction it. It's like if you was a boxer, I used to be in boxing and boxing trainer, boxing promoter. We could get a fight, but it's got to have so many rounds or they won't sanction the fights. That's why you're going to have a main fight, but then you're going to have a bunch of trash fights because it ain't got nothing to do with them. They just got to fill up this card. They got to have so many rounds. If they get this many rounds, then the whatever belt or whatever registry we're under that night will sanction the fight, and then everybody can make some money. They don't sanction the fight, we can't make no money. So it's the same way. They sanction other people to throw dog shows instead of them being the dog show standard. Why is that important to me? Because the dog show is supposed to be where you get confirmation of what the breed is. But what I'm saying is, even if the registry people are still confused on what the standard should be, it's not going to work that way. So the breeders have to be the ones, because this is an early young breed. Somebody got to step up. Maybe the leadership don't know how to do it yet. It's an early young registry. They have when Dave Wilson started this, it was under the UKC. You know, when they were registering these dogs. The UKC been around forever. You know, they got years. So the ABKC is not that at all. So who's to say how the UKC had longevity? You can't say that these 4 people in the room somewhere mapped it all out and it worked forever. We can't say that. It had to have something to do with the breeders too, and it had to have something to do with the customers too. Because the customer can say that's deformed. The customer can say that's not exotic, that's deformed. And there won't be no demand for the supply. So everybody's got a part to play. So I think that it's easy to point the finger for each of us. And when I say us, I mean everybody in the community. It's easy for each of us to point to another department or another piece of the puzzle and say it's their fault. It's easy for the classic bully breeders to turn to the exotics and say it's your fault. The exotics can say, well, XL people got banned, it's their fault. Everybody can look at the registry and say it's the registry's fault. They ain't regulated. Then the registry can look at the dog show and say y'all sanction it. It's y'all fault. Y'all giving out the ribbons. So everybody got a way that they can point and say that it's a bad thing. But what you have to understand is that when you breed in exaggerations, you're gonna go over the cliff, as Dave Wilson has once said. I heard him say it. You're gonna go over the cliff. That's what I mean by you're gonna pull this great bull out, but these over here is gonna be shaky. You know, the ones over here gonna be shaky, but this one, ooh, red bull, blue bull, he's poster child. So that's kind of where it started and where we've gotten to. That's the history that quick. Now that's 1980, 1990. I won't tell you the year I graduated. That'll show you how old I am, but I was there. So in that amount of times, in 1992, about 30, 35 years, this is where we're at. And that ain't even a third of 100 years. You need to be 100 years to be, I mean, the UKC been around hundreds. AKC been around hundreds. We're only 35 years into this. So everybody's got to step up to it and have a responsibility for their part. My part is the breeding part. My part is the breeding part and the customer part, because I bought my share of bullies. And I can say, this is good, this is bad. I bought my share of bullies to be able to say that. And I have influence in the bully community, so it's another way that I have a responsibility to keep the breed going cool. It's not just the registry's responsibility. So I hope I didn't bore you, but that's a little bit of our history, man. Just trying to get us all back to the starting point of where we started this conversation and what it's really all about. Making a great breed, man. Keeping American Bully going, man. I'm making a healthy American Bully, and that's my part, my contribution to it. You know what I mean? And if you want to be part of that, come on off the bench for the big win, man. And get you something hard cut. It's on.